Hey Marika, how's it going today?
Good. How are you, Daniel?
Good, I'm good. So Marika Sila, right?
Sila,
I've already forgotten. I'm sorry.
like the ocean, like sea.
Oh yeah, okay. Marika Sila, for Ditched as Melina. I'm glad to be chatting with you today on the Filmcraziest show.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'd love to start just talking about your character. I find she has kind of this leader charisma. So I'd be curious what do you relate to most about Melina?
I would say, well, Melina is Indigenous, like myself, which was one of the reasons I was so excited to play this character because I believe so much in equal representation in the mainstream media. So it was a great opportunity to portray an Indigenous character in a feature film like this. And so with Melina, I mean, she's very independent. She's courageous and brave. And I feel as an influencer myself, I've really had to take on those traits. And so it was a really cool opportunity to portray her as a leader in the film, but also an Indigenous character as well.
Oh, that's awesome. I love the painting behind you, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
It's
It
very
was a
majestic.
Thank you. It was a gift when I was doing a youth camp a couple years ago. The community gifted this, and yeah, it's been so great, especially for the work that I do.
Oh, fair. Okay, great. Well,
Yeah,
so I think I was looking, you also do a bit of dance, right?
yeah. So these days, I specialize mostly in stunts and special skills for film and TV. So I started out as a hoop dancer, but that taught me a lot of like and built a lot of strength for the movement that I do now with the stunts and special skills. So now I'm more so focused on martial arts and taekwondo and karate, but also like nunchuck, staff, and sword handling.
Oh, that's awesome. So many skills.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'd love to know who are some of your acting inspirations?
I would say Angelina Jolie has always been like the biggest inspiration to me, but it all started with Sandra Bullock in Miss Congeniality. I think I watched that movie like 100 times when I was like 9. And so that's kind of what started me off in the idea of being an actress. And yeah, I think it's definitely had a huge influence on me. And I think it's interesting because the first role that I booked was a cop, and in Miss Congeniality, Sandra Bullock is a cop as well. So I think that yeah, it definitely had a big influence on me.
I don't know if I've actually ever seen Miss Congeniality.
It's so good. You have to watch it. It's a
Okay,
classic.
I'll put it on my list this weekend. I know I've seen Legally Blonde, and I think I get those kind of like similar, but I don't know how different in premise they are. Because I
Oh,
think
there's
Sandra Bullock goes an undercover Miss
yeah, she's like an
Congeniality, right?
undercover pageant girl, but she's like a tomboy,
Oh,
like
okay.
at heart. It's really good.
Okay, great. No, so obviously your first role or first or second role was a cop, and now you're playing a paramedic here. What do you think about that? Is that awesome?
It's definitely a running theme. Like I think I'm getting typecasted a little bit,
Oh
which
yeah.
I'm okay with because I love playing a cop. I love playing like leadership roles like that. And so yeah, I played a cop, and then I played a paramedic. I played a cop again after Ditched, and then I played a paramedic again. So it's been like one after the other, like pretty similar roles. But it's been fun. All of them have been different and have taught me different aspects, especially with Ditched. It really helped me get out of my head as an actor because it's so easy for us to like overthink how we look on camera. But with horror films, you really just have to like put that all aside and like let go. So it was a good opportunity um, to step into the horror film and into that genre.
Okay. Was this your first time? Was this your first horror film?
Yes, first horror film.
Okay. So I'd love to ask, there's I don't need to mean to spoil too much, but there's chainsaws, disembowelment in the film. So I was surprised by the amount of gore. So what's that like watching that on set, and what's your gross out tolerance?
Oh man, I don't watch scary movies. Like I'm terrified of them. So acting in it and seeing how everything goes on, seeing all the makeup and the prosthetics and everything actually really helped me like be okay with watching scary movies, because now like when I watch other scary movies, I more so just look at how did they shoot that, how did they make that look so real, um and like I'm more curious about it than I was like before, where I would just like not watch gore at all. So, and it was just so much fun working on set. I think that when I was younger, I always used to, I wanted to be on set, I wanted to be acting, but we never had the right props. Like we never had the costumes or anything. And so whenever I'm on set, it's like a dream come true, because like it just brings the kid out, and like, yes, we have like all the right props and like perfect um costume and wardrobe. And it's great because it just makes me feel like a kid again.
Oh, that's exciting. Relive your childhood in a way.
Yeah, totally.
I noticed that like pretty much this is almost exclusively like a night shoot. So do you have a preference shooting at night or at day?
I'm a pretty flexible person when it comes to schedule, because naturally I think I'm more of a night person. So for me, I was like, right before we went to film, I was thinking about switching my schedule and like trying my best to be an adult and get on a normal schedule. But then I booked this and I was like, okay, well, I guess like I'll just keep my schedule as is for now. And so filming at night was not too hard for me, luckily. I know that it was definitely more challenging on some of the crew that had normal schedules. But luckily for myself, I'm pretty flexible when it comes to that.
It's funny. Sleep schedule is gonna have to wait after day
Yeah,
shift.
yeah,
And
totally.
what month did you guys film this in? Because I know how cold Edmonton can get.
I think it was in the spring. It was a couple of years ago, and
Okay.
like before COVID, luckily, because
Oh, wow.
we filmed in such close quarters, and yeah, so luckily we got to film all this before COVID, and so we didn't have that worry. But it was pretty warm, so I think it was in the summer sometime. There was
Oh,
definitely
okay.
some chilly evenings, but it wasn't too bad.
Okay, good. Now I want to ask about the ambulance. Like, did you guys get to see it turned upside down, or was it already upside down when you got on set?
It was upside down when we got to set, and
Uh,
yeah, it was so cool to see though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Any challenges shooting in an upside down ambulance?
Yeah, well, like all the lights and everything were on the floor. So like where you step and everything like kind of had to be a little calculated.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, it was, I think more so that it was more challenging for the DOP, like the director of photography, or anybody who doesn't know that term. I think it was more challenging for the guys who are filming, because like to get the shot in such a
Right.
small like enclosed area was I think challenging, and the lighting too. But for us actors, I mean, it was I found it was more so fun, if
Okay.
anything. Yeah.
Now, is any of the cast claustrophobic?
I don't think so. I think we were all just joking around, and it was fun.
Okay, good. Now, I'd love to, I don't want to spoil anything, but I'd love to just like the villains, kind of seeing them in the almost like Bigfoot getup, just with the costumes on. What was your first reaction to seeing that on set?
Um, I was I think that like my personality is like I think everything like on set is just fun. So like to see them in that outfit, it was just like they kind of look like Bigfoot.
Exactly.
And yeah, so it was just a good laugh, the whole premise of it makes everything make sense. And yeah, it was all just a good opportunity.
Okay, awesome. Now, I'd love to, like, also not spoiling anything, but like every character has sins in a way. So besides your own character, Melina, did you have a character that interested you the most in their development?
Yeah, I think that, oh, that's an interesting, I think that the character that I thought was the funnest to watch was Franson. Um, and he was just like locked up uh in what is it, the gurney the entire time. And
Right.
his character was just like so deep and so creepy. And it was such a blast to see his entire process.
Okay. His pocket knife story when you were just kind of sewing up your buddy was like, oh, okay, that's getting dark.
Yeah. There's so many moments where we're just like really,
Get me
who
out
is
of
this
here.
guy?
Yeah. Now, I'd also love to ask just about your director, Christopher Donaldson, who I noticed that he's worked as a storyboard artist, and this is his first feature film. So,
Mhm.
how would you describe his directing style? Is it like very visual?
He's great. He's amazing to work with, so much fun to work with. His style is, I mean, I just love his style. I feel like the way that this film came out is, it gives me a sense of like almost like Stranger Things kind of vibe. Um, and like kind of like 80s vibe. And I just love all the lighting and everything that he brought into the film. And I just loved how he was so flexible with what I wanted to bring to the character. And he was willing to work with me on moments in the scene, on lines in the scene, even where I was like, hey, like what if we change this line just slightly, so that it like in different ways that will, I guess, help the storyline. And he was just like so excited when I brought him like the different ideas like that. And it was cool because a lot of directors are, and who are also the writers, are very married to the script. And so it was really nice as an actor to be able to have some sway in that realm too.
Okay. What was the biggest thing that you brought to the character of Melina?
The biggest thing,
Yeah.
well, I think that I think that being an Indigenous actor myself, I think that is a really important aspect when we are playing Indigenous characters in the mainstream media. I think it's so important that proper representation uh, is is made. And so I was really happy that Chris made it his top priority to make sure that Melina was played by an actual Indigenous actress. So I was really happy to be able to do that, and honored to play to play the lead. And also, I think that my ability to tap into those like more primal aspects of survival, especially at the end in the trailer, I think that that was the funnest scene for me to play. But I also hope that it brought um, Melina's character to another level.
I love that. Now, my last one here is just you talking about surviving. Just hypothetical question, but if you were actually put into this situation, do you think you have the survival skills to get out of it alive?
I think that with the stunts and the special skills that I do, I think that I could manage.
Oh yeah, nunchucks, martial arts. Yeah, that's true. I do not want to be on the villain side of that scenario, I don't think.
Yeah. So yeah, it was really fun to film, and I hope I get the opportunity again to work with the cast and crew because they were just such a blast to work with.
Okay, awesome. And I think that was my time. So I'd love to thank you, Marika Sila.
Yeah, Marika
Yeah, okay.
Sila. Thanks,
Marika
Daniel.
Sila for chatting with me about Ditched, which comes out on VOD on January 18th and on Blu-ray in February.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Daniel. Have a
Awesome.
great day.